Hey BCC Kids and families, Andrea Murdoch here to continue our series on friendship. Last week we talked about Elijah and Elisha, and we learned that good friends encourage one another. This week we're going to be in John 21 verses 1 through 19, learning about Jesus and his good friend, Peter.
This is Peter. He was a brave follower of Jesus, but he didn't always think before he spoke. The night before Jesus was put on trial and killed on the cross, Peter promised Jesus that he would follow Jesus anywhere. And that very evening, Jesus was arrested. Peter was so afraid that he told 3 different people that he didn't even know Jesus. Peter must have felt terrible, especially since right after he did that, Jesus died. Now we know that Jesus came back to life, and he appeared to his friends to prove it.
Hey, Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the wrong set again.
Well, have a good dinner.
And he appeared to his friends to prove it. Peter must have been overjoyed to know that Jesus was alive. Still, though, he probably felt awful for what he had done. Soon, Peter was going to find out exactly how Jesus felt from Jesus himself. One day, after Jesus had risen from the dead, Peter and some friends were out fishing on the Sea of Galilee. They dropped their nets all night long, but they never caught any fish. In the morning, they saw a man on the shore. They didn't realize it was Jesus. Jesus called out to them, "Cast the net on the right side of the boat, and you will find some." So they cast their net on the right side of the boat, and they caught so many fish that they couldn't even pull the net into the boat. John realized it was Jesus. Peter put on his coat and jumped into the water. The other disciples followed in the boat, dragging the net and all of the fish. Jesus had started a fire and prepared some fish and bread for them to eat. Jesus told them to bring some of the fish that they caught. He told them, "Come and have breakfast." After they had finished eating, Jesus took time to speak to Peter. Peter was probably scared to hear what Jesus was going to say. Jesus asked Peter, "Do you love me?" Peter said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said to Peter, "Feed my sheep." Then Jesus said to Peter a second time, "Do you love me?" Peter said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my sheep." Then he said to him a third time, "Peter, do you love me?" Peter was sad because Jesus had said it 3 times. But he said to Jesus, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my sheep." When Jesus said, "Feed my sheep," he was talking about people. He wanted Peter to lead the people in the church, just like the shepherd takes care of the sheep. Jesus explained that things would be difficult along the way, but he told Peter, "Follow me." Jesus forgave Peter and gave him an important new job, leading the church. Jesus asked Peter, "Do you love me?" 3 times, the same number of times that Peter had denied knowing him. Now, Peter could share the love of God with everyone.
Batman, wrong set.
When Jesus forgave Peter, he made sure that Peter knew they would always be friends. Peter even went on to be one of the most important leaders in the early church. Sometimes friends mess up and we hurt each other's feelings. But this is the bottom line. Good friends forgive one another. Okay guys, before I go, we're going to practice that memory verse one more time. Let's see if you remember it. Ready? A friend loves at all times. They are there to help when trouble comes. Proverbs 17:17. All right, it's time to say goodbye. Have a good week and be a good friend.